Welcome to the Litterbox, where we dig through the mess to find the stories, laughs, and unexpected moments that make life interesting. I'm Trent Anderson, your guide through the clutter, ready to uncover something fun today. Let's get it started. Welcome to the Litterbox, episode 3, coming at you live. Today, I got Mr. Ashley Elam in the building. Mr. Ashley?
Thanks for having me on.
What's going on?
It's just an honor to be here in the Litterbox. It smells a lot better than, I thought it would, considering the name, but I like it.
I actually had to clean up my house for Ashley. I didn't want to get judged. And no offense to Johnny Como, but I finally have a real celebrity here today. Sorry, Johnny. I know that hurts a little bit.
Hey, I don't know if I'm in the same league as Johnny Como. I think he's known in more places around Southeast Texas than I am. So I think he started off with a good one, and then you had Keith come in and
probably
good back-to-back to get started.
It's a good back-to-back, and now it's even better back-to-back-to-back having Ashley on. And I like to talk about where I met my guest. It's a thing of mine. I don't have to do it, but I like to talk about where I met my guest. And I'm going to take a shot here, and Ashley may have a better memory than me, but I'm thinking about place in Beaumont, the West. Mm-hmm. It was a draft.
Yes.
Maybe the 2011 NFL draft. I see Ashley there. I obviously know who the hell Ashley is. He doesn't know me. I'm just a peasant.
Now I know him very well.
He knows me very well now. Yeah. But I had my Texan gear on. He had his Texan gear on. You probably remember this.
Yeah.
And we hit it off well.
Was that when 97.5 was there?
97.5 was there.
The Blitz.
Yeah,
the Blitz.
They were there. And I saw Ashley there.
Rest in peace, Fred Fowler.
Yes, rest in peace, Fred. No, that guy was great. The Falcon.
Yes, Fred.
Yeah,
Falcon.
But we had a good time cutting up, watching the draft, and that is where I met Ashley. Is probably, like I said, 10 years ago or so, and we BS'd, and we hit it off from there, and that's it.
That might actually be 15 years ago now.
He's like, can you do the math? That was 2011.
2020. 14, 15. We're getting old. See the white in the beard now?
And mine or yours?
Both of us.
I'm still in my 30s. I'm doing okay.
I'm 45. I'm aging better.
I'm hanging on for dear life, though. I'm hanging on for dear life. So this is funny. I'm going to roast Ashley just a hair.
Go right ahead.
He's probably going to roast me back.
I'm going to fire back.
He can probably fire back, but this is funny. But I was reading up on some articles of Ashley. I was like, let me get a little bio of Ashley. It's online, and I can show him this article, so it wasn't me. And I was like, holy crap, a lot of accolades on there. But there was this one article I was reading up, and at the end of the article it says, and Ashley, you're going to be like, really? Mm-hmm. It says, we do not know the age of Ashley Elam. He did not want to share when he was born and the date with us. But by looking at his picture, we're assuming he's in his 40s.
There you go. I do look like I'm in my 40s.
I can show you this article. Did you know that was online?
I did not know that. There's also some random thing. There's a random page only because I know another person. I'm going to leave her nameless. That looked herself up as a celebrity, and it said your net worth. Did you know I'm worth over $1 million according to
God, you ruined it. I was about to bring that up. Okay. Not only did it say that he will not give his age out, it said, and I have the screenshot and I'll show you.
Okay.
It said Ashley Elam's net worth is from $1 to $5 million as a sports anchor.
That's amazing.
And the first thing I thought,
you've been to my house, so we hide it well.
I'm in the wrong business. That's the first thing I thought about. And I was just about to bring that up. That's funny. So you've obviously seen that.
I've seen this before, yeah.
But I was talking to someone earlier, and I'm not going to mention any names. I said, and they said, it might be right, Trent.
No,
it might be
not.
accurate.
No.
And I said, I'd love for it to be accurate for him.
Great.
But I don't know if it is. So that's funny. I had to get those two pieces out. When I saw those two things, I said, I have to bring this up So Ashley doesn't like. I was going to say, Ashley, why don't you like?
I don't
bring it up here.
January 7th,
Hold on.
1980. I don't.
Okay, he just ended this for whatever person that wrote this article, whatever writer wrote this. He's okay with saying his age.
I have no idea. I have no idea where it came from. I don't care how old I am. I'm aging. I get older every day, just like everyone else. But I'm 45. I'm still having a good time.
Yeah, I'm right behind you. I'm hanging on to my 30s for dear life, but I'm right behind you. So there's something that I want to talk to you about that it's always been a thing I've seen with you, whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, whatever. You have a thing with flags.
Oh, gosh.
You have a thing with logos.
I do.
And there might be something else I'm missing.
I like graphic design. I'm a weirdo. I mean, I know this is not an exciting subject, but now that's what I do a lot now. I like.
We just lost like 200 live viewers.
Sorry, it's fun with flags now, not the Litterbox.
But no, so like here's the weirdest thing about this. Mm-hmm. Is one of my top specialties is flags.
Wow.
He didn't know this.
Okay.
I knew it all along. Maybe thought it was a little nerdy for me to bring that up in front of the world. Flags. But
all you flag lovers out there, it's perfectly normal. You go with it. It's okay.
I wanted to do a little flag slideshow, just a trivia, but the audio people wouldn't see it. And that wouldn't be.
It's going to be weird.
It's going to be a little weird. But
just say I got them all right.
I'm actually really good because I do little trivias from time to time, and I'm really good with random flags. I don't know. I'll tell you where it came from though. FIFA. Playing a soccer game so much, FIFA too. I learned my flags through FIFA. People are like, Trent, how'd you know that was Ghana?
Did you know Trent used to be a little bitty skinny soccer player? True story.
Okay, so he told me.
We can add that picture from the yearbook at any time.
So he told me he wasn't going to roast me, but it's already coming. We're 6 minutes in.
Ashley, you brought up my past. I brought up your past.
Okay, so I see how this is going. Okay. So I had a couple more roasts for Ashley. I may have to.
You want to go ahead and do that?
Not do that again.
Okay. It's all right.
But anyways, flags and then logos.
Yeah.
You're pretty big with the logos too.
Love logos.
Do you like? I'm noticing nowadays with NBA and stuff like that. I saw recently, I don't know if I'm ahead of you on this, the Buffalo Bills are bringing back a lot of old school jerseys and stuff.
They're bringing back the red helmets. Okay, so the NFL has changed.
Is this a good thing?
The NFL has changed the helmet rule. Used to, with the CTE cases, this is more boring stuff, okay? The NFL would go away if all these CTE cases were, to actually go through. Just saying. Like, there's a lot.
They would be gone.
So they were trying to come up with any answer possible, and all of a sudden it would become, well, these guys need to wear one helmet. There was a one helmet rule in the NFL because you were more protected.
Yeah.
Well, in high school, you can wear multiple helmets. Colleges, you can wear multiple helmets. So that just really didn't work out. And then they found out we can make more money when we have more helmets. So that's what's happening now.
Yeah. And like, so I kind of like the old school, bringing back the old school logos and stuff like that. I'm going to tell you something just kind of going off here. Like the Texans, that's our team. Me and Ashley are Texan fans. I wasn't a big fan of like our colors and stuff right out the gate. Am I missing something?
It was all right. So,
and this new stuff, the new jerseys we got, I like it better than the old stuff.
It's okay. The original jerseys reminded me of USC a lot. Like they have the little sliver on the shoulder and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I like they were going with the Texas flag. When they went Texans, people are like, "That's the dumbest name." Because around the country, the name Texans
I wasn't a big fan
is
of the
dumb.
name.
But you got to think about the history of the Texans battling for their independence. It was in New England, you had the Patriots.
Right.
In Texas, you had the Texans or the Texicans battling for their independence. So, a little different thing there.
And I saw these new jerseys.
Still not as cool as the Oilers. Sorry.
Yeah, in Tennessee, Aaron Gaspard.
There's no oil in Tennessee.
Don't touch our jerseys. Quit it.
Awful.
Give it back.
The Adams family.
So, like, in the new jerseys are good, but I started looking.
Have you seen them in person?
I looked at them. I thought
they look like they're black.
I thought we looked like the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, they look like they're black. They look like they're black. They are the. They are the darkest.
We're supposed to be navy.
They are. So Cal McNair, of all things,
we're supposed to be navy.
God bless you, Cal McNair. The McNair family.
R.I.P.
I've never met Cal. Bob, his father, I got to meet. Was a great man.
Wait, Cal's still alive, right?
Cal is the son. Yes.
I just said R.I.P. Sorry. I just started following. I just started following the Texans. Sorry.
Jeez.
Anyway, get roasted for that.
He came up there, and when he was describing the colors, he said it's the darkest navy in the NFL. It's New York Yankee navy. Why would you say that in Houston?
It's black.
But why would you say New York
You
Yankee?
don't say that word. You don't say
and
that
the
word.
red is the scarlet of the Ohio State Buckeyes. Why would you?
We don't want to mention any of those teams here.
No.
So moving on from that, Ashley, I got to ask you, while I was looking at those accolades and stuff like that, I saw some awards that you have, and it's pretty good stuff. I saw you got Newscaster of the Year, a couple other accolades. You've been to Super Bowls, you've been to World Series, you've been to All-Star games. First of all, I'm going to ask you two things to this. What was that like, being able to attend to all these things, getting these awards? And secondly, I want to know, is that like the ultimate high of being a sports anchor, is being in those situations?
Number one, I don't care about any of the awards except for the Coaches Award. Texas High School Coaches Association, Southeast Texas High School Coaches.
Yep, I saw that you had that.
That means a lot because that is picked by my peers, the people I work around with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as far as like press club awards, things like that, reader awards, fantastic that the community, that does matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I never did anything in the media to win a trophy. My dad always called trophies a bunch of, you know, dust collectors.
Right.
It's all they are.
Right.
Going to the different events. And I grew up in a family that, you know, we didn't have a ton of money.
Yeah.
You know, we would go to one Astro game a year. Sometimes we'd be sitting in the rainbow seats.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as soon as my parents, well, once I turned 18, they couldn't really say no anymore. I could drive to the Dome and get $5 bleacher seats.
Yeah.
I'd go out there and watch those games all the time.
Yeah.
So being able to go there and go into the locker room, and I started my media adventure, if you will, when I was 19, back in 1999. So I got to go into the Dome before it went, you know, under.
Right.
Got to meet Craig Biggio and all those guys. And the biggest point that probably ever changed my path in the sports world, because when I walked in that door, I looked at these guys as like icons, heroes, right? And I'm walking back through, you know, near the locker room, the clubhouse for the Astros, 19 years old, with Jorge Vargas, who got me into television, by the way. Mm-hmm. And Craig Biggio said, he joked around and heard something move behind me. And he goes, "Was it a cat?" And I said, I don't know. He goes, "Well, I hope it's a cat because the rats are even bigger here." And it was just like something about Craig Biggio joking about the rats in the Astrodome. And then I'm just like, wait a minute.
Is that why we tore it down?
It's full of rats. Don't go in the Astrodome. It's not good. But it was just that moment right then that I'm like, I'm a 19-year-old idiot walking back in.
That's a cool moment,
and he's joking with me. And at that moment, it just changed, and it made me feel better. So going to cover the Astros during the World Series runs, getting to go to the NBA All-Star Game. Super Bowl. I was there for the, you know, Tom Brady comeback against the Falcons, and got to interview Kobe Bryant, and I was in the Western.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Western Conference locker room during the NBA All-Star Game. So Shaq was in there, Yao was in there, all those guys, Steve Nash.
Now is
Kelly Rowland, got to interview her because Destiny's Child was singing the national anthem. So
is Kobe's got to be one on your list.
He's not number one.
There's no way somebody beats Kobe.
For me, you got to know my favorite sport. It's baseball.
Who beats Kobe?
Ken Griffey Jr.
That's a big one.
Ken Griffey Jr. The kid was,
wow.
By far, that was my favorite interview, and it almost went downhill. It's when Jay Bruce got called up for the Cincinnati Reds. Okay, so there was trade talks going on about Griff. And he was looking like he was going to go to the White Sox. This was towards the end of his career. He had hamstring issues, and you're walking in the locker room, and you know I'm sitting there and I interview Jay. Jay's fantastic.
Class act.
If you ever see Jay Bruce
Class act.
Anywhere,
I got to get him on the show. By the way,
amazing guy.
Class act.
And so I finished up with him, and the PR representative for the Reds. I look and I see Ken Griffey Jr. right there, and I'm like. I go back into.
Jay, I got to put you to the side for a minute. There's Ken Griffey.
Yeah, I go back to. Oh my God, that's Ken Griffey Jr. Like this is the guy. Like growing up, he was the man. And I looked at him and I was like, "Hey, could I talk to Griff?" And he just goes, "You're on your own. Good luck." Just because,
Jay told you that?
No, the PR guy. Because they knew there was the trade talks. He's at the end of his career, and I walk up to Griff. I'll never forget. He has a white button-up shirt, and he's buttoning it up, and he turns around. I was like, hey, Griff, could I get a word? And he just turns around and just gives me this look of just, why are you talking to me, man? And I felt my childhood about to get crushed.
Oh, no, don't do it, Griff.
No, don't do it.
I hope Griff did not ruin this moment.
And then I looked at it, I was like, I'm here to interview and cover one of our local guys I covered in high school, Jay Bruce.
Yeah.
And immediately his face changed. And he became...
Was that that saved your whole interview?
Oh, yeah. Because he goes, Jay's a great kid. He's going to do big things. You can see the future with him. And it just opened up. And then we just talked probably about 15, 20 minutes. And we're talking about Jay. He was expecting me to come talk about... Him being banged up constantly, going to the White Sox, things like that. And it was talking about Jay. And that changed.
I forgot they actually played together.
Yes.
But this is the end of Griffey's career, and it's more of the start of Jay's?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the beginning
I was trying to get the...
So that was before Jay made over $100 million, became an NL All-Star. Hit the walk-off in the playoffs. He's pretty good. He was really good.
And that's better than Kobe.
Kobe's Kobe.
But that, in your world, that was
For my childhood to be there,
yeah,
that was the big
I wear a backwards hat right now because of Ken Griffey.
Everybody does. Okay, that's him. But going back to the thing that meant the most to me in my career, actually, it wasn't any of that. It wasn't anything at the professional level. It wasn't seeing the Super Bowls. Being next to the World Series trophy, being around people like Lady Gaga, all these different...
I did not know about that.
Really good during the Super Bowl. It's actually been covered...
That wasn't when she was wearing meat, was it?
No, she made a joke about that. So she was singing... she had a halftime performance. Luke Bryan was there to sing the national anthem. And then it was Lady Gaga, and they joked about her, and she said that, she had matured. You won't be seeing her wear any more meat dresses. She was actually really down to earth, really cool the whole time. But the thing that has meant the most to me, and, I still keep up with sports even though I've left the media world, just covering all these kids in Southeast Texas. That's what's meant the most. Mm-hmm. I grew up looking in Southeast Texas of kind of looking like how much I love this community. I wanted to promote this community, because you would see Houston, you would see Dallas, you'd see San Antonio.
We kind of get forgot about down here.
You forget about that corner now. In the 70s, when it was the football capital of the world.
Yeah, was it the Golden Gators?
Well, I'm talking about football capital of the world.
Sorry.
The NFL in the 70s, that was a thing.
Yeah.
But then you kind of get forgot about in this corner of the state. So my whole thing my goal was to promote Southeast Texas and become the number one sportscaster in Southeast Texas.
Yeah.
A lot of people made goals of going to ESPN, do all this. And I won some awards that said I was. I'll say that all my peers work just as hard as I am. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. Some years I won the awards. Sometimes they won the awards. Mm-hmm. But that's what meant the most is now I get to walk around these communities all over Southeast Texas, and they'll be like, hey, you covered me growing up. Or, hey, you covered my kid growing up.
And that's a special feeling.
Oh, that's a connection that means more than any trophy to me and in any big national sporting event I've ever been to.
No, that's amazing. And I've always watched, not to bring up your age again, but I've watched you since I was a kid. And this is a pretty cool thing for me. I'm not going to lie. You got people that like Ken You got people that like Ken Griffey Jr., Kobe Bryant, stuff like that. I like Ashley Elam. I think this is cool. This is going on my Mount Rushmore. I was going
to make the joke about when my wife and I are 9 years apart. Okay. So when we started dating...
Big shout out to Lacey, wherever she's at.
Wherever she is at. Where could she be?
Lacey, wherever you're at right now, big shout out to you.
That's right. She made a little joke. She likes to take shots at me. Mm-hmm. And she said my voice was nostalgic. As in, she grew up watching me and listening.
She did.
That's weird.
Hey, man.
It's weird.
You're the GOAT. Well, hey, so I want to know, like I say, meat and potatoes. Let's get into the thick of things.
Uh-huh.
How did you first get into broadcasting? You obviously had jobs before Channel 12. And I think...
You want to hear the path?
I want to know the path to get to broadcasting. How'd you get there? I think the people want to know how it all started.
It all started at Groves Girls Softball. I was announcing games, making like $50 on the weekend when I was like 12.
You were in the booth.
I was in the booth, right? Fast forward, working for my dad in the summers. He had a shop on Houston Avenue in Port Arthur. Mm-hmm. Despite all the people out there that say that I hate Port Arthur, my parents went to TJ My dad's shop was in Port Arthur. There's Elam connections all over.
Hey, y'all leave Ashley alone.
Back off.
I see y'all online. I see y'all.
Coming after me. So anyway, work for him. Go to the softball park. Tommy Voss used to run a tournament. He's from Port Neches. Used to have a travel team called Bridge City Express. And they held the AFA Nationals. And we were on the field crew, me, Jesse Cooksey, and Josh and Jason Wright.
Okay.
And working the field, making extra money and all this kind of stuff like that out there in Beaumont at the city complex. And I meet Jorge Vargas. Jorge Vargas is the weekend sports anchor at Channel 12. And Jesse Cooksey rolls up and says, ask my boy Elam about anything, especially high school sports. He's going to know it. And I was like, all right, shoot.
He's putting you on the spot.
Then he goes, and he mentioned logos and stuff like that. He goes, yeah, mascots. And Jorge goes, all right. Klein High School. I said, Bearcats, blue and gold. And he goes, you want to be my intern? And that's how it started.
Wait, it was one, you answered one question, that was it?
And I started interning the next week.
But that's probably all it took. I'm sure a lot of people didn't know about Klein.
Klein Bearcats, yeah. And then Coach Caduti is a former Westbrook coach. He's now the head coach over there at Klein. So weird full circle moment there. Yeah, started to intern the next week, and a month later I was hired full time as an editor. So I started off as an editor.
So did you look up to this guy? I mean, obviously
Jorge was great. He still works in the media. You'll see him covering games, especially like Texas Southern and teams like that. He lives in Houston. Worked at CW out there and different sports. Broadcast all over the place. Great dude. Was in Beaumont for a while before he went off to Houston, and I have everything. Every time I give a chance, I say, Jorge Vargas gave me my break.
So if that little moment doesn't happen, that wasn't something you were thinking about growing up, really? Well, I did see a thing I'd like to bring up. I did see a thing in these other articles that I read about him. This isn't a roast.
Articles.
It said, Ashley said he would like to be a sports anchor at some point when he's older, or play for the Houston Astros.
That was first grade in Miss Benson's class. Taft Elementary, shout out there, Taft.
Well,
it didn't work out for baseball at all.
Well, hang on. The Astros, as we speak, have a few injuries. So that being said, you might be able to knock out two birds with one stone. You did the sports anchor. Astros need a little help.
I'm coaching 8U softball right now. My hip hurts from bending down to get the ball. My arm goes numb and my fingertips because I played in the men's league baseball for about 15 years.
Yeah.
Played too long in that, and I have nothing left in my shoulder or my leg. I can't run. I tore my hamstring my senior year. I was mediocre.
It's not looking good for the Astros.
I'm not the guy out at the bar or wherever says, if it wasn't for this injury, I would have gone pro. I would have never gone pro. Never, ever going to happen. I just happened to get hurt too.
Man, so
you would have probably been MLS by now, right?
I mean, yeah. So if I wouldn't,
Davey Arnold and you,
me and Davey would have played together. If I didn't get that calf injury preseason of my senior year,
it's always those injuries.
And you knew about me as a big stud in soccer, right?
Huge.
Y'all heard this, chat?
Very time. I've read articles on you.
I made it to the paper a couple times.
That's big.
I think it's on my fridge. I still got it on my fridge. It was like Trent entered the game and got a goal, like he had one all year or whatever. I think I actually had two.
I was on my so my 8th grade year in Colt baseball, we went winless. Made me hate baseball at that point. I turned down All-Stars. I don't play my freshman year, so I kind of went into the doghouse. And then I made the team with Mauricio, and basically was told you're gonna move up one team at a time. It was fine with me. I had no problem with that. But let's just say baseball was not going to happen. That was not going to be the way for me to go.
So the Astros, can we just say that's not happening?
I can say that I've been in their clubhouse, at the Dome.
And you've talked to Biggio, and you know about the rat situation.
The rat situation.
So that's more than most people can say.
I've rode the elevator with Nolan, Ryan,
okay, that's kind of a big
Reggie
deal.
Jackson.
Okay.
The funniest thing about Reggie Jackson is?
What's that?
So when he worked for the Astros, we know he's Mr. October. Obviously, you look at Reggie Jackson, he's Mr. October.
He is.
Yankees. Yep. But he would always wear an Astros hat when he worked for the Astros. He did work for the Astros. But it was embroidered. It said Mr. October on the side.
So he was still
thought that was a little weird.
Yeah, that needs to go away. We need it.
It's
Reggie, cut it out.
It's okay.
So
you're Mr. October. You can really do whatever you want, but still.
So, you being on live TV, there's some issues that can happen every now and then. You run into some situations. You probably got some stories in your head. I want you to tell me about a time that comes to your mind that it was an absolute disaster on live television, or it may not be a disaster. They might have gave you the wrong article, and you're over here talking about hockey while an NBA game's playing right now, and you're like, you gave me the wrong script, or
so
the mic cut out. Something. You got something that happened.
Mic's cut out. Production teams, by the way, if you're in television, shout out to the production teams. For the most part, fantastic jobs. They bust their butt.
But they can mess up too.
But man, there's some times when you're on air and you've been like, so we're salary in sports, despite working back in those days, you'd work 1 million hours a day. This is why I don't work in TV anymore. I like to see my family and my wife, my kids, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But literally, hey, if there's games in the morning, I would get in at 9 a.m. and I wouldn't get home till 2 a.m. and I'm only getting paid for 8 hours no matter what. That's just the way it is.
Yep.
And you would put all that work in, and then you put everything in order, and then all of a sudden they could be like, the server died, so you have no video.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
Or, hey, I'm doing highlights of Lamar baseball, and something completely different shows up. And then you're just having
and that's not on you.
No. Everybody at home doesn't really know that.
It's you. They're like, I actually screwed up here.
And that's where I might have lost my temper a few times on some directors over the years. Once again, still love my directors and all that, but I did have a temper.
So there's a time where you probably grabbed the director and you're like, what happened here?
First of all, I never grabbed the director.
Oh, sorry.
Never grabbed the director.
That was bad wording.
Never. Can't. No hands laid on anyone. I strongly encourage them not to make.
In your head, you wanted to grab the actor.
I would never say that.
Director. What the hell are we talking about?
Never at all.
It was a nice. Violence. It was a nice cordial.
We talked about life and how this irritated me sometimes.
We're going to have to get with Lacey on this at some point in time, wherever she's at.
It was never anger towards her. It was just like trying to keep everybody quiet.
Well, at the end of the day, she saw the rawness. Everybody, and that's another thing I want to hit on is, Ashley, everybody sees a lot of times the finished product.
This beauty doesn't come natural.
The news at 10 and stuff like that. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, hours of work for 2.5 minutes to be on TV.
That's what I'm saying. They'll show a little clip and a little article, but you guys are doing a lot of. There's a lot of grinding going on.
I told people, to this day, since I got out, we call it family dinner.
Yeah.
On Sundays sometimes with Coach Travis Williams, but then we have all sports guys. Nick Canizales is there, Mike Canizales is there. Then we have. Holton Pepper will come there.
Oh, yeah. With the slick back hair.
That's right. Cam Sanderson, the up-and-comer, the kid out of PNG. Yep. And we all sit there and we exchange stories. And all of us old sports guys, which we're not old, but we all got out to do different things. Mm-hmm. We know what they're going through. And there's so much extra work that they don't get credit for. So shout out to you for keep doing that, because I don't miss that part. I do miss going to games, but I can still do that.
Well, I'm going to ask you something, and I'm trying not to. We're on a high. I'm not trying to bring us down a little bit.
There you go.
But it's the rawness of.
Why would you bring me down?
It's the rawness of stuff. I was going to bring up. Is there a time of you reporting in a situation that happened in sports that was pretty emotional? And the first thing that comes to mind, and you're probably going to say, I don't know how you're doing this, is the kid from West Orange.
I was there, Reggie Garrett.
Boom. I don't know what made me bring this up, dude. I swear, this I just thought of this out of my head.
That was...
you were there.
That was the toughest, by far the toughest night of my career. So,
and you obviously had a report on it.
Yeah, so it was our game of the week. They're playing Jasper. Never forget it. We're sitting there, and he was rolling out. He threw a touchdown pass, by the way. Reggie Garrett. He was at that time. He had an offer from Iowa State. This kid had chances to do things. Okay.
I didn't know he had offers like that. Wow.
Number 12, and that's where the 112% thing comes from at West Orange Stark. Completes the pass, and you see him, and he walks to the sideline, and you see him drop. And you immediately knew something wasn't right. It was bad. It was eerie. You might see a guy get hurt. I've seen some horrific injuries, but he
may have a cramp or something. He goes down.
He just goes down.
Y'all knew this was pretty serious.
And me and Paul Sanchez was my photographer that night. We're going down, And I just remember Coach Toby Foreman, who's now at Colleen Shoemaker, is a head coach over there.
Yeah.
He's running towards paramedics. He's screaming. He is trying to get them there. And, no shot at the paramedics at all. It just felt like they were moving slow. But in their minds, they're probably thinking it's an injury.
They don't know
so
they don't know the severity
they're
of
rolling,
it.
They're rolling down the track. And I get to the sidelines, and you see what's going on, and they pronounced him dead.
Don't say on the field.
Later. Reggie Garrett, as far as I'm concerned, passed away on the field.
Yeah.
You could see when it stopped, they loaded him up, and you still didn't believe it. You're seeing what happened in front of you, and I leave. We go back, and the highlights, I'm letting them know back at the station, like, hey, something bad's happened. Reggie's been sent to the hospital. Mm-hmm. It didn't look good, but I mean, there's times where you think things don't look good, but they're going to revive him. They're going to be fine. Maybe in my mind, that was his last breath that I saw. That didn't happen. So you're playing everything in your head, and I get a text or a call, and they said, they just told us in the press box, Reggie's gone. And you're just sitting there, and it's like, how do you do the show at that point?
Yeah. And I know you were close to close to every kid that played in the area.
Yeah. I mean, you get to know these kids, and you see that happen, and it just shuts you down. And I just remember that night I got a call from it's a radio station in Houston, and they found out I was there, and they wanted me to come on air to talk about it. And I turned it down. I turned down every interview from any outlet that reached out, because the passing of a young man should not be a story for me to go on air and talk about. It's more about his family, the community, and things like that. It should not be something to talk about.
Right.
I don't want my name out there like, oh, yes, I was there. No, I witnessed something horrible.
Yeah.
And then that same year, Curtis Barbay, during halftime against Buna, the legendary head coach from Newton, he had a heart attack and he passed.
Was that same year? Same year, yeah.
Same year, and my friend Travis Williams, who's head coach now for Woodville, he was the head coach for Silsbee. He had a heart attack that year. He survived, but it just seemed like terrible things
back to back
happening over and over.
And I remember seeing that online and stuff like that. You brought that story up quite a bit, I guess the anniversaries of stuff happening. Mm-hmm. So I knew that was
the thing is,
a pretty serious deal.
West Orange Stark does a great job of remembering that young man and
that's awesome.
And keeping his
hopefully they retire
alive.
That number.
Yes, it's not used as far as I know, but
yeah.
Every time I bring it up, it's not for likes or attention. I just want people to remember Reggie Garrett.
Yeah, so I'm glad we brought that up in his name and stuff like that. So no, that's awesome, man. And moving on from the sadness, we're going to try to pick it back up. So I want to know, and I've always wanted to know this about you guys. Do you still have people when you go to the stores and different stuff that's like, hey, you're the guy from the new, after a while that probably gets a little tiring. I know you still hear it.
Well, it's the funny thing is, when I know people don't watch the news as much as they used to,
and I haven't been there in a while.
This is not knocking anybody in the news business right now. But some people will see me and claim like, oh yeah, last week when I was watching you, I haven't been on TV in over 2 years. It's been 2 years.
But they watched you last week.
Or I'll get messages asking me, I sent you this last week and you didn't cover it. Word to the wise in the future, don't overlook us.
They're critiquing.
And then I respond to them, I appreciate you sending me this, but I don't work in TV anymore. I don't. I do something on the side called Has Been Sports. The joke is I'm a washed up has-been. That's what it is, okay? Used to, at P&G, when you got knocked out of the playoffs, your senior year, everybody else is doing off season. They're getting ready for next year. And then they'd kick you off to the side and be like the has-beens.
Yeah, you're a little peasant.
You're a has-been. We don't care what you do.
Yeah, y'all
go play wiffle ball.
Yeah, y'all go play in the corner.
Get out of the way. We got to go lift weights.
That's exactly.
Y'all can go to the canal and fish all you want. We don't care. So I'm now kind of out the pasture as a has-been, and all I do, I post scores because you don't see... Newspapers are going extinct right now not because of the great writers. There's great writers out there, and there's people that want to cover sports the right way. The huge corporations that taken them over do not give them what they deserve to cover them, and they cut them out. And all local coverage at the news level for sports and newspaper is practically eliminated compared to when I started, and that's the saddest part. So I'm like, hey, I get scores.
I can
so
report
you can go
it still.
to my page, and I'm going to post scores.
Yeah.
Or I can, hey, here's some... By the way, the has-been sports rankings mean absolutely nothing. Stop getting violent every time we post it. Me and Mike Canizales, we'll sit there and text each other, and like we keep up with all the teams still. We'll put a post, and we were called babbling idiots when we were on TV. We're still babbling idiots. Like we don't know what we're talking about.
You can't get away from it.
We can't. We can't at all.
You can't get away from it.
So they don't mean anything. You know what? The AP rankings don't mean anything. The team who wins the championship at the end, that's all that matters. So just calm down.
Hold your horses, fellas.
Just relax.
Just let them report.
Just relax.
Let the has-beens report.
The has-beens want to just kind of like play in the litter box a little more.
Yeah.
Say we brought that full circle. Look at that. See? Branding.
The litter box. So I'm going to branch off just a hair. I'm going to come back, but I'm going to branch off on something that's kind of
very corny,
a hot topic. Yeah, it was. Yeah. I'm going to branch on something that's kind of been a hot topic that a lot of people have been talking about. What's your 2 cents on the CEO at the Coldplay concert? I know this isn't sports, but I guarantee you have something to say about it. Why do I feel bad for it? Why do I feel? Was this the wrong thing to say? No, hold on. Hold on.
You feel bad for the dude that cheated on his wife?
No, I just feel bad that everything was aired out to the world. Now, that is wrong doing what he did. But should the world see it? Maybe that's a good punishment.
Well, maybe don't take your mistress out to a Coldplay concert because everybody else is seeing you anyway.
And I mean, apparently, I don't know a lot about Coldplay, but apparently this is what they do. They put their fans on the camera.
Well, you know what? I don't know if you've been to any sporting event in your life. They put people on the camera.
They do put people on the camera.
Put you on the camera.
I guess if you're going to do what he did, I hear Coldplay does this a lot. So for them being Coldplay fans, they should have been more aware.
Will we ever see you at a Coldplay concert with somebody, some lady from Southeast Texas that we might recognize?
I don't know how to answer this.
Is there a lady that we should be concerned about?
I don't like Coldplay.
Okay. All right.
But if you want to bring me to, I don't know, like a Nickelback concert or something, you might see somebody like a
Nickelback. Everybody that's trying to make Nickelback cool right now.
We're trying to make them. We're trying to make them cool.
And Creed's not cool either. I don't care that all the freaking TikToks are about Creed. Creed was not that great back then.
Creed's coming back.
No, they're not.
With the homes wide open.
Close your arms. Close them. It was terrible.
Okay.
It was bad.
All right. So moving on. You've went, and people that don't know this, you've been hiding in a cave or your head's been in the sand. Ashley went from TV now. Mm-hmm. Now you're at Hardin-Jefferson.
I am.
ISD. And a lot of people, I say a lot of people.
It's a great day to be a Hawk.
There we go. A lot of people probably don't know this that haven't been keeping up with Ashley. He's not in the sports world anymore as far as on air and everything like that. Mm-hmm. He's at Hardin. Tell me about how that... Hardin-Jefferson. Sorry, Hardin is another school.
Branding, remember that.
How did that transition happen? If you can elaborate a little on that.
So to clarify, I loved I loved my job. I absolutely loved what I did. I had no problems with the people I worked with, anything like that. Mm-hmm. But what I did have a problem with is once I got married, I've covered all these other kids doing activities for years, over 20 years.
Right.
Well, I was starting to miss out on my kids' activities. And so my wife would get up around 5:30 in the morning. Before 7, she's leaving with the kids to go to school because she's a teacher here at PNG, ISD, and they would leave. Well, my work day didn't start, not on the days where there's extra stuff to cover, but my normal schedule starts at 2 p.m. So I wouldn't go until 2 p.m. The news goes on. After 11 p.m., I'm done. By the time I'm archiving, throwing things on,
you're not getting to bed till late, really.
12. I'd get home around 1.
She's asleep.
I would stay up until like 2 or 3 just because winding down, and then that cycle would start. We would literally just see each other passing in the morning and then on weekends, and that was it. And it was starting to wear on me, and there was events that were happening where like I enjoyed the moments of being there, but I was missing being with my family.
Right.
And I was a bachelor for so long, like a long time. So I wasn't used to that part. I was like, all right, hey, let's wake up. Let's go to this game. Let's wake up and go to this game. Not a big deal, hey. I'll go to all the playoff games for the Astros just because why not? It's free.
Yeah.
And then once you have a family and kids involved, it changes everything. And so I still want to keep up with everything, but like Brooks, he's going to be 7th grade football at Port Neches, That's tough to say he's a Warrior because my wife and I were Braves. G-Town represent. You say anything bad about G-Town, we're going to have a problem right now.
I've never said anything bad about Grove.
We've seen it. I've seen it.
I've never.
Do you know that we have the largest pecan in the world right there down the road in the Groves?
Look, y'all got a Chick-fil-A and a Whataburger.
Yeah.
And that is.
Just throwing that out there.
That is.
We live in Port Neches.
That is all
now.
y'all got.
We live in Port Neches now, obviously.
So you chose the right city. Okay.
But don't talk down on the Groves.
Well, G-Town's kind of gangsta, so I don't want to say something too bad.
See, I remember growing up, like we were friends with the kids from Port Arthur, and the Port Neches kids were a little scared to go to Port Arthur.
But everybody thinks the Port Neches people, they're like, oh, y'all were just little
hoity-toity,
preppy kids,
fancy folk
and everything like that.
We're raising our kids from Port Neches to be like Groves kids. That's key.
But bring them to Groves every now and then, just kind of.
Love you still.
Just bring them to Groves every now and then, just to see like.
Oh yeah, they took pictures next to the giant pecan and the squirrel. Have you gone yet?
I didn't know y'all had a giant pecan and a squirrel. I try not to go over there too much.
The Guinness Book of World Records is going to come out. The pecan is beating Seguin's pecan.
Okay,
where have you been?
I got to go see this pecan.
That's right by
Jesus
City Hall.
Christ, what?
It's put us on the map. I mean, come on.
The pecan put you on the map?
ZZ Top at the treehouse on the water tower, Sure Shot game calls, and now the giant pecan. That's the Groves.
Look, I can't hate. Groves is doing big things. They're on the come up. But when it comes to Port Neches and Groves, there's one that stands out just a little more. And Ashley knows.
The Groves.
It's Port Neches.
G-Town.
It's Port Neches. Team Port Neches. But no, so you're at Hardin Jefferson now.
Yep.
And how are they doing on sports? I know P&G and everything takes a big take down here. Everybody's just, everybody's talking about P&G. But we got Hardin Jefferson over there. Is there some talent over there? Do they have some big things going on over there?
Okay, so baseball program's doing fantastic the last couple of years. You got Kelby Weiler, who played for Lamar University and Rice University. Led the baseball program to a couple of good years. We just had McLeod, pitcher. He had an injury before the season. He was originally committed to Oklahoma. I'm not sure where he's ended up right now.
Yeah.
Softball program, we have a new softball coach. His name's Josh Pippin, who happens to be from P&G.
Let's go. Groves or Port Neches?
He's from the Groves. And that's right. Okay.
Dang it.
That got you a little bit.
God.
Right there.
Foot and mouth. Okay.
Okay. You look at that softball program's going to be up and coming. Basketball, the girls have gone to state multiple times in the last decade under Coach Mike Fogo. We've had Ashlyn Jackson, who's currently playing for Duke.
Yeah.
That went there. Sneed's daughter, Omar's daughter, she is playing for Tulane, and she was killing it last year. I saw her at Buffalo Wild Wings a couple of weeks ago. I don't know how.
Hardin Jefferson on the come up?
Yes. Definitely she's grown. I don't know how that happened. Boys basketball missed the playoffs last year for the first time in a long time, but Keith and Hancock, one of the Hancock brothers, greats from Kuntz.
Yeah.
He's leading them in the right direction. He's got a great thing going there. I expect big things out of the Hawks area. And football, this is the bold prediction. I've said this, and I've had people come at me and say I'm crazy, but man, I love being crazy because last year I said the story was going to be Woodville. I said Woodville was going to be the story.
And they had a good year.
They went to the state championship, right? They really laughed at me because Newton took care of them, so they're in the same district. When I said, could this be the year Woodville beats Newton? Well, no, Woodville didn't beat them, but they made it to the state championship.
They made it further.
Hardin Jefferson, I have Coach Zach Bass's team making the playoffs.
I forgot Mr. Zach Bass is coach.
From Nederland.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think the Hawks can make the playoffs. They made it to state in 7-on-7. I'm not huge on 7-on-7. Like, if you do great in 7-on-7,
it doesn't correlate with the season.
It doesn't.
Does it?
Once you put linemen out there and all that, it changes. But I just feel like they've been getting closer and closer, and as soon as they can just learn how to close out a game.
Right.
You know, last year they pushed Bridge City to the limit, and Bridge City was a playoff team. They beat Livingston, should have beat Liberty. I think they can take down Liberty this year. Bridge City game's going to be fun. Livingston should be the favorite. I think Hardin-Jefferson makes the playoffs this year.
You heard it
and
first.
I'm paid by them, but I'm not paid to say they make the playoffs.
Hardin-Jefferson going to the playoffs. You heard it here first from Ashley. Mm-hmm. So now that
no pressure.
I'm going to go off of another team that has been on fire here lately, and you're going to go, wow, yeah, and that's Hampshire Finette.
The Horns.
I want to ask you, what is Hampshire Finette doing? I'm going back to my childhood and growing up, and 10 years after that, they were just a pushover. And now Hampshire Finette, West Orange shows up to Hampshire Finette. They better bring their A game.
Don't you know it's the same mud, same blood? That's Hampshire Finette saying, okay? Same thing, but Coach Wagner, he's
what's going on over there?
He was a great coach in the private school ranks before he came down here to Southeast Texas, and he's really built that program. And they are wide open. They can sling the rock around. They're going to have a new young quarterback stepping in this year. They will contend. They're picked.
Obviously, a playoff team again.
They're picked third this year in district. West Orange is looking like they could be West Orange again this year.
The old West Orange.
You know, a friend of mine coaches over there, and you know the pressure is when you step into a town like that, they expect it just to continue. They don't expect down years.
High expectations.
They don't expect, 2 losses is a bad year, Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you remember the scene of Friday Night Lights. They're outside of Walmart. Mm-hmm. Coach Gaines is out there, and Buddy Garrity is talking to him about, go out there and win state.
Yep.
And he just said, well, what happens if we don't? And he's just like, we just don't want to talk about that, right? It's almost like if you don't do that, you're on the hot seat to get fired.
Yep.
So I joked with my buddy Coach Tates, and I'll text him that still, and I was like, hey, go be perfect. Because you better be perfect this year, because if not, the people that live from West Orange Stark's glory runs there for those 4 years under Cornell Thompson, which I love, Coach T, and Jack Dallas and those guys like that. And then people want that every single year.
Yeah.
Coach Hooks before that, Dan
Hooks.
Ray.
Yep. I'm thinking of Dan. I remember growing up just seeing Hooks all over every channel.
Okay, so growing up here at P&G, did you like Dan Ray growing up?
I didn't mind him.
I did not. I'm going to tell you why. Okay, you looked at Dan Hooks. He just looked like this.
He was pretty hard-nosed guy.
He was hard-nosed.
Yep.
And this is just a kid growing up, and you would hear the parents talking. They're like, he gets away with this, and he gets away with that. Dan Hooks gets to do anything.
Those kids liked him, though.
Oh, but then I met him when I worked. Dan Hooks became one of my favorite coaches. He was hilarious. Mm-hmm. He was mean, and he just went the old school way. But
those kids respected him.
Exactly. And Cornell Thompson was the same way, and carried over. When I did my going away party, my little I don't think you were there. I'm sorry. I just thought about that.
Guess my invite got lost in the mail.
But, anyways, Cornell Thompson was there. Him and his wife were the first people there at my going away get-together.
I mean, at least I get invited to the Halloween parties.
You did. Halloween. We're taking a break this year. It'll be back.
It'll be back. And I'll be there. I'll bring Doug Champagne with me. We made an appearance.
He was a Chippendale one
Yeah, we were
time.
Chippendales, which
is really disturbing.
This was like when I was 100 pounds heavier, I was a Chippendale.
There's pictures.
That's a scary.
There's pictures.
It's a very. Hopefully they don't circulate.
They will.
But no, so that's a big thing in sports. I want to hit on some more thing. I want to hit on P&G. Okay. I got Ashley Elam here. I got to hit on P&G. What Jeff Joseph is doing is remarkable, what he's doing to this program. But I do hear people that have said, are we nearing the end of this P&G run? And I'm going to ask you, because you know more than anybody else, are we nearing the end, or can we keep this going? Can we go to state again? Can we make a deep run again?
There's a difference between Cinderella runs and programs. Jeff Joseph is building as a program, okay? So you got to remember, you might not even remember, he comes from Katy, right?
Mm-hmm. His dad's out
His
there. His
dad, a legend out there.
Legend.
When that all got started, Katy was not a powerhouse. They were not. They'd had many down years. They hadn't won a state championship since like the 50s. And then Gary Joseph built a program. And, they might not win state every year, but they contend every single year. It's built with great line play, hard-nosed, offense, defense. We're not going to score 50-something points a game, but we're not going to give up 50-something points a game. Mm-hmm. And that's just the way it is. What you see PNG is they're building that same mini Katy mentality. They're very strong up front on both sides of the ball. Mm-hmm. They will run first, but they're not afraid to spread it out when they need to. They'll still sling the rock. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they're going to – they took a step back last year. This was the funny part. How many programs would like to take a step back and make the state quarterfinals?
Yeah, we thought it was a down year, really.
Down year in 2024 was making the state quarterfinals because in 2023 you won state. 2022
Runner-up.
Lost state. You know the last time that we had made the quarterfinals before 2022?
You're probably going back. You're probably going to 99.
1999.
Long
and
ago.
they went to the quarterfinals again. So they've made it 3 times in a row farther than we had been, and I say we because I'm a PNG graduate.
Yep.
Farther than PNG had gone since 1999. They've done that 3 years in a row now. Round 3 was the kryptonite for PNG for years, running into Fort Bend Marshall, running into College Station.
Yep.
And there's a different mentality. These kids, they look like they have that confidence. Now, the UIL did them no favors, putting them into Region 2 with all these Dallas schools. This year, Dave Campbell's, if you follow the bracket, how they have it, PNG's picked second behind Huntsville.
I saw that.
Huntsville's coming to the res this year, so that's going to be good.
That's going to be a good game. Yep. Do you think that's fair? That Huntsville's ranked above us? It's like, what?
I mean,
what do they know?
It's close. I mean, Huntsville, PNG had a chance to go up by a couple of scores last year at Huntsville and made some mistakes, and that game became way closer than it needs to be. Huntsville's going to be very good. They'll be tested early. They play Brenham in week 1, so you'll get to see what the Hornets have. But if you look at the bracket, you do not want to fall in the number 2 spot in this district because in the second round – you're going to face South Oak Cliff.
Again.
The number 2 team out of this district will face South Oak Cliff in that second round. And you don't want to finish there.
No, you don't.
You'd rather be first or third. You don't want to be second.
No, you don't.
You don't want to be fourth because then you're probably going to Texarkana on a long bus ride. And that's what happened in Nederland last year.
Yep.
And you go
That's a scary team.
Yes.
It's a very scary team.
They are loaded. And if you hear some, like, I don't know the coach personally. He's probably well liked.
Yeah.
But if you hear some of his interviews lately, it's more like it's almost like, well, PNG's not going to be what they were last year. So he does. It's almost like they don't even consider PNG's going to be in that spot of the bracket. Mm-hmm. Is what he's saying. He's probably considering, okay, PNG doesn't win district, they might be the number 2 spot. They'll run into South Oak Cliff. But I'm also one of those people that dynasties don't last forever.
They don't.
And not saying. Maybe it's PNG's little dynasty run's not in it. What if it's South Oak Cliff's run? Because Randall took them out in state championship last year. PNG beat them the year before. Mm-hmm. What if that run runs out? Yeah,
because everybody's automatically assuming, at some point we're going to have to run into South Oak Cliff. Yeah. Is that true?
I mean,
they could. I mean, how? Yeah, like you said, how long is their run lasting?
What if it's Texas High finally breaking through out of Texarkana? Because
scary.
We saw them a few years ago, put it on PNG in Natchitoches, and then last year, that game was insane. Same place in Natchitoches, and no offense to the PNG players, most of that game, Texas High looked like the better team, but PNG finding a way to win. That's where I say it's not building a team for a special run. You're building a program. Once you start believing in yourself, you think you can win those big games. Also, the off-season program that Coach Joseph has implemented since being here, you see kids are getting bigger, faster, stronger.
I've noticed.
They are bigger, and my son's now working out for the first time. He's in 7th grade. And
he's taller than Lacey, too.
Yes.
That's something that I know. Wherever Lacey's at right now.
Wherever she is.
Brooks is taller than you.
Brooks is taller. And he's excited. He's been working out with the tight ends, and we don't know if he'll be able to catch a ball. He's a really good soccer player. He's a goalie. He just got back from the A&M soccer camp. But just seeing the kids that are going up there, though, in Indian course in the offseason, these kids are getting big.
They are.
And it's pretty exciting to see for a community.
No, and that's great information. And best of luck to P&G this year and Joseph. And I really hope they can make it a good run again. That quarterback,
Connor Bailey.
I feel like we've had him for
Groves kid.
I feel like we've had him for
Groves kid.
Are we sure he was born in? Are we sure?
Groves kid.
Okay.
G-Town represent.
Dang it. Okay. Well, I still love the kid. The kid's great, and I feel like we've had him for 5 years now.
Yeah.
He's been a starter since he was a sophomore.
Yeah. Shay Adams got a Liz Frank injury against West Orange Star. West Orange was actually leading that game when he got injured, and then Connor Bailey stepped in, leads P&G past West Orange Stark, and the rest is history.
So I don't know a lot about the other quarterbacks that are going to be fighting with us in the playoffs, but that's big having a kid that's been through it.
Yes, he's been.
You got a vet.
Yeah. He's got there. He's played in the state championship. He has won a state championship. He's gone to the state quarterfinal. I think that, P&G will be tested. They're going to play Klein Oak.
How far are they going? Can we make a bold comment? Now Joseph may end up watching this and get mad at you later, but how far are we going?
I think anything less than 3 rounds is a letdown. I think anything less than that. I have to see the team. You can see things on paper. The biggest test for them to see where they are will be week 2 when they go to Bulldog Stadium in LaPorte.
I thought you were going to say the other Bulldogs.
Nope.
That's never a test, right?
Well, they beat P&G last year.
God,
don't forget these.
Well, I was trying to have some short-term memory there.
No, LaPorte. The
LaPorte Bulldogs.
They are always big. They have running backs that can drive you nuts. Once they break it, they go all the way. P&G's defense will be tested just like they were that week. Coach McDaniel, he did a hell of a job for what he had last year, and it wasn't the starters. They didn't have a lot of depth. So he was piecing together. They were moving players around all year long to get where they were. Was impressive. That week 2 game at LaPorte in their brand new sparkling stadium they got out there is going to be.
That is a nice stadium. I saw that.
It's beautiful, and that's going to show you. Is this a team that's
show you where we
playoff
stand.
Team, or is it a team that can make that run?
Yeah, and so like I said, best of luck to P&G. I got a couple more things I want to add. We're getting close to wrapping this thing up, but a couple more things I wanted to talk to Ashley about, and one of them is going to be the NIL.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to know your thoughts on what you think about the NIL. I have a big friend group that's always telling me, Trent, these kids are on billboards. They're selling their jerseys. Yep. They need to get paid. And I say, great point. There's a whole nother part of that where I see second stringers or third stringers or whatever going to a school or transferring, and they're saying, I'm not going to play unless I get $400,000. I'm not going to go. And it's like, and then you got the transfer portal and all this stuff going on. I don't really like it.
Well,
am I in the minority here?
Well, number one, I think the kids deserve to get paid. At that FBS level, the schools were making millions and millions. In football, not all the sports. Every sport in college practically takes a loss.
What about the Texas Tech pitcher?
Well, y'all
wreck them.
Y'all went all out to try to win, and you didn't win it.
Let's not bring up that.
You're trying to do it in football too this year too. Spend a lot of money. I believe that kids deserve to get paid, but they got to put a cap on this. There's got to be a salary cap because it has gotten out of control now. It really has, and you're seeing people. And who do you blame them? Am I going to sit here and where I can go across the state and make $1 million more? Mm-hmm. It's literally every player's in free agency constantly. When
you can't build a team.
No, when you're recruiting, you're not only recruiting kids down the road, you're recruiting your own team. You know, I'm good friends with Will Davis over at Lamar Baseball. Mm-hmm. He has done fantastic with the portal. In his mind, he knows, and it's not what he wants, and no coach at the mid-major level wants this. Mm-hmm. In your mentality, hey, I might get a good guy, but he's going to be here 1 year. And he's going to take off and he's going to get drafted or he's going to go to a major program.
Right.
instead of sitting around and crying about that and being like, this isn't fair, we can't build anything. No, he's going after those one-year players. And he's bringing them in, and he's finding the people. Like the guy's constantly on his phone, looking through the transfer portal, and he's made Lamar 40-game winner back-to-back seasons. In the football level, what I mentioned though is it is out of control. They have to put a salary cap.
They got to do something. And Saban doesn't like it. I've seen Saban comment on it. He don't like it.
You know, a school that has unlimited money, and they hear about, okay, Johnny's at Middle Tennessee, blew up. All right, he's going to go to let's say go to A&M, right?
That's a bad choice.
Let's say he's going to go to A&M.
Should have went to Tech.
This guy's going to be the savior. He was like under the radar, but now this guy might be a Heisman contender. Texas might have the Heisman contender. What keeps Texas from going, hey kid, I'll pay you even more than A&M can? And then they're going to shove him on the bench just so A&M doesn't get him. You know, that's like...
And that's happening.
Yeah, you could pay a guy just to not play against you if you have enough money. I mean, that's a far-fetched idea of the schools involved, but I'm saying you could literally have one big school that has enough money on the side to bring in a player just so they don't have to face them.
So you're saying they needs to be capped?
There has to be a cap.
Needs to be a capped.
You know, in the NFL, you got a salary cap. And
need it in college too.
Or you create a CBA where these kids have to sign a contract. Okay, yeah, hey, we're signing you to a 3-year deal.
Yep.
Okay, not just the 1-year deals. And there already is a CBA. Like, I don't want to sound ignorant on the subject. There's a lot of moving parts. But it's like, okay, you want out of it, then you're going to have to buy out.
Right.
At the same time, though, then the schools can say, just like any other sport, well, we're going to cut you. And you're cut. We don't care what happens to you. You're now gone.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of complicated things. I understand something needed to be done, but I just don't. I think Pandora's box was opened too soon, and they didn't have a good plan. And now
it's hectic.
The NCAA has no control.
They don't know what they want to do now.
They can't, because anytime the NCAA tries to do anything, they get sued. And every lawyer's like, that's not going to work. We're going to sue you, and then they'll back down.
It's bad, and I don't like it. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to the old days. I mean, you had Johnny Manziel and Tebow. They could have made billions. Think about if they lived in today's time.
Johnny made some good money.
That's right. Johnny was doing it anyway.
Johnny might have made some good money, but there was people. They've been making money forever. You know, there's been kids in certain communities that will leave their home school, that their mom might end up with a new house and they end up at a school out of state.
Right.
You know, and not mentioning any of those schools, but hear deals and knowing people, older guys that might have played for a school, and telling me how much they got paid back in the 70s. Like, you know, there's also deals. Lacey's grandpa, you know, played for the University of Texas.
Yeah.
They handled the housing for, you know, the grandma, and he had a child. That was being handled back then. So this there's ways that things have been paid for, but it wasn't pay for play back then.
That's it. Yeah. But man, like I said, we got to wrap the show up. Me and Ashley probably could have talked for the next 2 hours about sports.
We probably will after this.
Yeah, we still might.
Yeah.
This has been episode 3 of the Litterbox. Ashley, I really appreciate you, brother. And like I said, Johnny Como, I finally got a celebrity on here. I'm sorry. You're great.
People know you more, Johnny.
But this was a really great time. I really appreciate you showing up, Ashley. This is great. And we'll have to do it again sometime.
Of course. Hey.
Guys, please show up next week. Episode 4 is coming. Follow me, like, subscribe. I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, videos on YouTube. Y'all come check me out. Litterbox, over and out. Thanks, Ashley.